Knitting a festive sequin top. I've always wanted to try working with sequin yarn, and today's the day. We'll knit a beautiful festive top that pairs perfectly with a shirt or t-shirt. You need skeins of 100% polyester yarn with sequins 60 grams per skein. Circular needles, 40 centimeters long, size 5.5 millimeters. To determine how many stitches to cast on, knit a swatch and stockinette stitch and measure the number of stitches over 10 centimeters. My swatch resulted in 11 stitches per 10 centimeters. With a bust circumference of 100 centimeters, I calculated I'd need 110 stitches. To ensure a looser fit, I added 20%, bringing the total to 132 stitches. Make sure the total number of stitches is divisible by 4. Cast on 132 stitches plus 1 extra stitch to join the round. I'm knitting with 2 strands of yarn, aligning the sequins so they alternate between the strands. Cast on the stitches and ensure they're not twisted on the needles. To join in the round, slip the first stitch from the left needle to the right. Pass the last stitch on the right needle over the slipped stitch and drop it off the needle. Place a stitch marker to mark the beginning of the round. Knit the first row in stockinette all stitches knit. Begin the second row by purling all the stitches. Alternate between knit and purl rows for the first 3 centimeters to create a ribbing edge that prevents curling. Knit all stitches in stockinette stitch in the round until the body reaches 17 centimeters in length. I recommend knitting an extra 5 centimeters for a slightly longer fit. Divide the stitches in half. Place a marker after 66 stitches to separate the back. For the front, place another marker after 33 stitches, dividing it into 2 equal parts. Bind off all the back stitches. Use the following method. Knit 2 stitches, then pass the first stitch on the right needle over the second and drop it off. Repeat until all back stitches are bound off. Work on one half of the front section at a time. On every right side row, decrease 1 stitch on each side. Right leaning decrease. Knit 1 stitch, then knit the next stitch. Slip it back to the left needle, pass the third stitch over it, and drop it. Transfer the stitch from the left needle to the right needle. Knit all the stitches until 3 stitches remain before the marker. Left leaning decrease. Slip 1 stitch knitwise without knitting it. Knit the next stitch and pass the slipped stitch over the knitted one. The decreases are done. After completing the decreases, ensure the 2 center stitches cross for a neat finish. Next, to avoid a large gap between the stitches in the center, switch the positions of the 2 central stitches. Now swap the last stitch with the first one from the other half, then purl this stitch. Turn your work. Slip the first stitch, then purl all the remaining stitches. Turn your work again. Slip the first stitch, make a right-leaning decrease. Then knit all stitches until 3 stitches remain before the marker. Make a left-leaning decrease, purl the last stitch. Turn your work again and purl all stitches. Continue knitting the remaining 7 stitches for the strap in stockinette stitch. Next, knit the strap in stockinette stitch. Knit all stitches on the right side and purl the last stitch. Turn your work, knit all stitches on the wrong side and purl the last stitch. Repeat this process to ensure the strap doesn't curl. Bind off all stitches. Finishing the other half. Repeat the process for the other half of the front. Start from the center and work outward, remembering to add decreases in every right side row. Repeat until the strap reaches a length of 38 centimeters. Using a darning needle, sew the straps to the back of the top.
Иголка.